Where do leaders get radical candor wrong? I have a couple of thoughts on this. You can't fake the empathy part,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You can't. And that piece is so critical. You can't say to your direct report, in the spirit of radical candor, you really suck because you missed so many deadlines. That's still being a jerk, right?
Right.
So I think really trying to make sure that you are authentic and genuine in your care for your teams. And maybe some leaders aren't, but I don't know that one can, really reach the pinnacle of their leadership ability without that. So I don't think you can fake the empathy part. I feel like for me, to be able to bring radical candor to my groups and teams, I had to take a really hard look at myself first and make
Yeah.
sure that I was receiving radical candor and seeking it out and, on the receiving end of it so that, I could be better. One of the things that I'm doing right now is studying the Stoic philosophers. I find it
Yeah.
fascinating. And one of their practices, like Marcus Aurelius or
Mhm.
Epictetus, was to set the tone for the day in their work lives and then review the day at the end of the day. So, I think leaders sometimes might get this wrong if they're not prepping to do it well and then reviewing how it went and, tweaking based off of that. We're all very busy as leaders, and sometimes we're very focused on the work and the product and the output and the deadlines, but the real work is in, those interactions with individuals. So I think studying yourself in how you deliver it. And then the last one is don't forget that praise is an equal part. We think about radical candor as, using it to offer critical feedback on an issue or a problem, but you should use it exactly the same way to offer praise in real time when you see it. So, radical candor can come in the form of saying to someone after that meeting, you know, um, I see that you're working really hard at this. I wanted to let you know that the way you're communicating seems really polished and thoughtful, and you're doing a great job at that. Thank you. So, making sure there's some of both happening and just not forgetting about that piece too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing you've just shared there is radical candor doesn't necessarily have to be negative, right? Like there's
Yeah.
this, as we've been talking, there's this sense of, okay, there's a problem and I'm going to approach it, this feedback, but it's really important. I'm hearing you say just then, it's really important to have radical candor with regard to positive feedback too, right?
Yeah, I think we have to do that, and sometimes I see leaders who are trying to practice like bringing radical candor to their teams as a supervisor, where maybe there's one individual there where there are a lot of challenges, and they're using this regularly, and they're very focused on, well, this individual just there's challenges with them. You can, as a leader, perhaps have tunnel vision on those challenges, but
Mhm.
even that individual, every now and then, is going to get something right, and they deserve that praise in the form of radical candor in that moment. Even if you, as a supervisor, are kind of overall frustrated with
Yeah.
them and you're trying to work on things, don't forget that because, at the end of the day, they're human too, right? It's not black and white. Often these things are very gray and people deserve the praise, even if it is deserved less frequent than the criticism.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you have to establish an environment where it's not, oh no, here they come to tell me what I'm doing wrong all the
Exactly.
time.